Hi, everybody. This is Kate Ingersoll, and welcome back to Soul Stories. In today's short video, I'm going to celebrate all things Libra. So happy birthday if this is your time to shine. Libra season is typically September 23rd through October 22nd, but this year, Libra season begins today. The equinox is on the 22nd of September. We just had another new moon yesterday. That was the second one in the sign of Virgo. The first one was at 0 degrees in August, and the second one was yesterday at 29 degrees of Virgo. And I love that we have an eclipse, and then the very next day, we come into the equinox, into balance, and into what I consider to be the time where we start manifesting the things that get stirred up during eclipse season. So I'm looking forward to this Libra season. I'll explain why in just a little bit. But let's begin by looking at the Libra mantra. I seek myself through what I unite. And those words myself are meant to be separated because we're not talking about myself like I'm going to help myself to, help myself to dessert or help myself, to whatever it is. It's I seek myself, meaning my soul, my true self, who I am, who I was born to be. If you're a Libra sun, the energy I'm going to talk about today is what you were born to become. If you have a Libra rising, a Libra moon, a Mercury in Libra, there's different manifestations of this energy. But the true soul journey of Libra is to unite. It's one of the reasons that the symbol for Libra is the scales, which we'll talk about in just a moment. Let's take a look at the bottom right-hand corner here. We're going to look at the glyph for Libra. It's like the omega sign over a line. And the reason for that is, well, let me go to the next page, is because it represents the sun sinking under the horizon because night is coming. So Libra is represented by the scales. We start off Libra season in balance. The same amount of sunlight and the same amount of darkness are equal in Libra. But as Libra season moves on, darkness becomes dominant. Libra is a cardinal air sign. Cardinal meaning it is the first sign of the season. It's the first sign of autumn. It's an air sign, so therefore we know it's masculine. All air and fire signs are masculine energy. And it's ruled by Venus. Now, Venus rules Taurus as well, but Taurus is feminine energy because it's earth. Libra is air, so it has a more of a masculine Venusian energy. So let me explain it like this. In the springtime, when we have Taurus season, everything is beginning. And there's a sensual beauty to that. After the long winter, we've had the spark of Aries start to warm up the earth. And then here comes the beauty of spring, where these blossoms are coming, the plants are growing, babies are born. And there's a more of a softness to that because it's life emerging. Now, since Virgo season is over, we are done with the light half of the year. From Aries to Virgo, it's the light half. From Libra through Pisces, it's the dark half, where darkness has more length. It doesn't mean one is better than the other. We need both for our earth to flourish and balance, and even for ourselves to balance. So in the fall, the earth is active because it's preparing for winter. Animals do this by eating food to prepare for hibernation. And then plants, especially the leaves on the trees, become colorful because they're sending their energy back into the roots to prepare for dormancy, which is kind of like a death. And so the entrance of the soul into the underworld after death is what's represented by Libra. That's also that setting sun. And a lot of religious traditions believe that when we die, there's a judgment. We get to look at our lives, a life review, not necessarily for punishment, but just to look at, did things balance out in this life? Where were some areas in your life that you did really well? Where were some areas that you might have needed more work or evolution? Libras understand what this picture shows us, that there are two sides to every story. And so I don't necessarily feel like they would see things as good or bad. They look at things in a relational way. And that's what the fifth bullet is, the deep focus on esteem and what you value in relationships. So a lot of Libras value clear communication in relationships. Um, Venus is what we value. And since we're in the seventh sign of the zodiac, Libra often is related to the seventh house of the zodiacal wheel, which is the relationship house. Libras seek balance and diplomacy because they want to see justice done. And they want to see justice done for all, not for some, but for all people. They are more than willing to negotiate fairness and inclusivity in groups and in their communities. And the archetypes are the lover, the peacekeeper, the diplomat, the judge, and on its shadow side, the smooth talker and the chameleon. Because in its shadow, Libra energy will often, like Libra, I know some Libra Sun people or Mercury and Libra people will tell you what they think you want to hear just to smooth things over. Because they don't have the courage yet, they don't have that fortitude yet to unite their truth with their voice. And so sometimes, people will say, well, Libras have a hard time making up their mind. It's not that. It's that they have so many choices that they can look at as which one is true for them. I remember once having a conversation with a friend of mine who's a Libra, and I was explaining a very painful situation in which I was humiliated by someone. And she says, well, can't you just look at the rest of that experience and think of it as find the good in it? And I said, no, because the humiliation tainted all of it. She was trying to see the other person's point of view. And I remember saying to her, you can be on my side or you can be neutral, but please don't take that other person's side right now because I'm still too mad. Over time, I figured out how to look at all sides and how to make my best judgment on what to do in any given circumstance. And Libra people can really help you in that aspect. So the Libra soul journey. So this is the Libra sun soul journey. To create harmony by aligning with the highest vibration of divine love. So in divine love, there's a lot that we don't understand about divinity. I will never understand all of what creation is. It's just too much of a mystery. And a lot of times, Libras at the beginning of their soul journey, they will think of things as fair versus unfair because they don't understand the broader karma in relationships, the reasons why people were drawn together. It may not look healthy on the outside, but maybe they're working something out that we have no idea. Maybe their souls need certain life experiences for whatever reason that we don't need to judge. We don't even need to understand it. We just need to let people have their own lives sometimes instead of trying to get in there and make everything fair. Libras will help us see another person in a relationship as a mirror of the self. And that doesn't always mean that someone's behavior is a reflection of you or your shadow or something you don't want to look at. That can be true. But what it can sometimes mean is that if you're in a relationship with somebody, they may have certain behaviors or do certain things that stir up memories of things that are unfinished in you that you need to complete. And so you can start looking at patterns and turn and look at your own healing instead of projecting it onto the other person, that it's their fault. If you're in a relationship with someone and you choose to continue being in a relationship with someone, you're co-creating that relationship. This is one of the reasons why Libra people or people of strong Libra in their chart make excellent therapists once they understand about what I was just saying about the psyche and the projection. Libra energy also understands that we all get wounded through relationships, all of us. If someone's going to hurt you, you're in a relationship with them. If you care enough to be hurt, there's a relationship there. But you can also heal within relationships. And it sometimes is with the person who hurt you, but I found that more likely than not, it's not. It's with someone else. And then once you heal whatever that wound is with someone else, occasionally the person that wounded you may come back in your life and you can make peace. I don't ever expect that in my life, but it has happened on occasion, and it's kind of a beautiful blessing. So Libras evolve into what we call the mystical lover. And that's kind of what this picture exemplifies for me, is the mystical lover. If you're familiar with Rumi, he wrote incredible work that was very mystical, and like Song of Solomon in the Bible, I think, is sometimes considered like mystical love. In its shadow, Libras can be easily influenced and they can be indecisive. As I had mentioned before, they may not be strong enough in their own truth to harness it yet. But once they do, and they journey out of the need for fairness into the acceptance of divine justice, they understand that justice can sometimes be another form of love, which I find kind of fascinating. If you think about it, it's an interesting journey. All of us are in relationships with people, whether it's our families, our relationships with coworkers, our friends. It's just a fascinating journey to look at the Libran perspective of how things evolve. So if you are a Libra, this is your time to shine. Happy birthday. If you're interested in learning more about astrology, I am going to be teaching some workshops at Harmony in Life on September 27th and October 4th. That's an Astrology 101, an introduction to astrology. The class is going to be from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. on both days. If you can't make it to one day, but you can the other, no problem. Sign up anyway, because I record these sessions and I will just simply send it to you so that you won't miss out. I will also be teaching at Owens Community College an abbreviated version of the Astrology 101 workshops. And I'm going to put some information for that workshop below. That's going to be on Wednesdays in October. And I'll put the specific dates and times with a link to register below. If you are interested in a personal reading, you can reach out to me via my website, katemazaris.com, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. And if you have any questions, just please feel free to contact me through my website. I look forward to hearing from you, and I'll see you next month when we dive into the Scorpio soul story. Have a great day, everybody.